Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So as you guys know, an automation is basically something that will make your life easier if it's done right. So, we create the automations to do jobs that we don't want to have to do manually. And most of the time it's to communicate or to create an action for a lead or a contact in our system. And something has to initially trigger that automation. So put them into that automation. And that can be done through a number of things like filling out a form. They click on a trigger link that's in an email or something. If they reply to an SMS or an email, it can set it off as well. So there's many things that we can trigger to start the process. And then once they're inside that workflow, we're able to automate sending emails, send SMSs, and voice messages. We should be able to, in the future, be able to send videos as well, pre-recorded videos. And then, they can interact with us to the point where you can build in an automation a chatbot where if someone goes onto your web form, they could type in question, and depending on their answer, it can go down a route and you can create, it's a little bit clunky, but you can create something as complex as that where it's looks like an automated conversation based on their responses. So that's how complex they can get. It's just coming in. So, do we have anything in particular as far as an automation that you would like to create? Because it's always beneficial if we can do something that, is very relevant to what you want. No takers?
We're thinking, mate. We're slow thinkers, all right?
Okay, you're right. All right. How about we make it a reinvigoration of old leads? That's pretty easy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do that? So the initial thing would be, okay, so let's create. So if you're inside your automations tab, come across and create a workflow. All right. Now you can do a couple of things. You can put them in, you can create a folder, or you could put it inside a folder that's already created. The reason we have folders is to try and keep like-minded or like-actioned workflows all together, just to keep them categorized and neat and tidy, because I don't even know how many workflows I've got in here, but there'd probably be 100 and something easily because I've got 4 pages of them. So there's quite a lot. So the first thing we do is come up to the right top corner and go create workflow. Now we can start with some templates, which I typically don't use, but only because I can sort of start from scratch. But here's one, list reactivation. That's exactly what we're looking for. Isn't that interesting? It's already there. So if we click, so we've already got a list of leads that are in the system that you haven't spoken to in a while, and this will be a template to make this happen. All right, so let's see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. So that's already created for us.
That's better, right?
Right. So the thing that we need to do, though, is to make it right for what we want. Because we're all solar people, we can do some sales copy and we can, create this sort of stuff, right? Now you see here, there's, did they reply within an hour? They replied back positive. We'll have a look at all this stuff. So the first thing we want to do is name what we're calling this. So we're going to get rid of the recipe. We're just going to call it a list reactivation automation. All right. Now, up here, the first row is the trigger. See here, add new workflow trigger. That's what puts somebody, typically, if they come into the system and they have this type of some sort of a trigger, it will put them in this workflow. So right now we've got a contact tag trigger, and then we can add a new one next to it. So you can have multiple triggers to put somebody into a single workflow. So if you click on add a tag, the contact tag added, and then we can select one. And we can create a new tag right now, and then we can add those tags later on. So let's start typing in here, old leads. And then we'll just go add tag. So now anybody with an old leads tag will come in through this workflow when we turn it on. Right? But what we want to do is all these things, we need to name them properly so that we know what they are when we're looking at them. So contact tag, here is the workflow name. Contact tag is old leads. Right? Now, if we save that, see here it's updated. So I now know, just looking at this is a reactivation automation, and anyone with a contact lead of old leads, as soon as I publish and save it, the system will look for anyone with that lead, that tag, and they'll put them in this workflow, right? So that's how we get somebody in there. We can also create a list, a smart list, with anybody who has the tag old leads back in our contacts section, and we can show you that if you like later. And then we can add them to this workflow and put them in a drip sequence, or add them all together and let them go. And we did that the other day, Con, if you remember, when we were on the call. Yep. So there's a couple of ways we can add these, right? The other thing that we'll look at here is we'll go to settings just for a second at the top. So actions is where the workflow actually is. Settings is some of the controls. So if you have a look here, they can be added at any time, or we can restrict the time they can be added. So you could have it so it's only through business hours. And here, this is really the only thing that I use in here, and it's allow multiple. So what that means is if someone's been through here already, you can, if it's set to on, you can send them through multiple times. If it's turned off and they've already been through this sequence, they won't go through it again. All right. So that's an important thing to remember when you're trying to send someone through something, or you want them to get a particular sequence again, and you're putting that contact in a workflow. If they've already been through it and this is set to off, which that's off there, the blue light's gone, they won't be added again. All right. So that's something that I typically, depending on what the workflow is, I'll sometimes change that. All right. There's other things here. You can do automatic mark as red. I don't really get into any of that. And I also don't get into stop on response because I don't typically need it. Right. So that's really the main thing just to keep an eye on. So if there's something here that you only want them ever to be able to get once, you've got to turn that off. All right. So we go back to actions. Now our first thing here is a text message. So here it's a text. So let's have a look at this. Let's see what it says. Okay, so hi, contact first name. So that's a custom value. We get a custom value from here where it says custom value. So if we wanted to change that to something else, I won't, but we could highlight it. Click here, go contact. We can go first name, full name, last name. We can add their phone numbers, all sorts of stuff, right? So we're going to leave it as user first. Sorry, there you go. That's where we make the errors. Just made an error. See, that says user first name. Got to be very careful. And we've seen this happen many times in your automations, right? Because what happens is user is me. I'm the user, not the contact. So we've got to highlight that. Custom values, go to contact, first name. Right, so you got to make sure that says contact first name, and that will bring in the person's first name automatically. Mary, Fred, Tom, whatever that case may be. I've got 10 free teeth whitening vouchers. Okay, so we need to get some copy to reactivate a text message. So I'm going to go to my famous little chat GTP. Let's log in again. Bugger. Here we are. Log in. I'm just going to move this for a second because I'll probably use this recording somewhere. Okay. And we're back. All right. So let's go back to here for a second. So this is a reactivation campaign for an old solar lead, right? Because you guys are all solar people, so we'll do that. So you are a world-class copywriter, and I need you to write me a text message to going to an old lead list that are home owners in solar or their home, and I need a really catchy first SMS with a call to action, and make the SMS 200. Okay, so now we fix the spelling. And do you understand? Absolutely. High leads name. Unlock massive savings on your energy bills with solar power. Don't miss a limited time offer. Reply solar to learn more. Oh, that's pretty catchy. We love that, don't we? So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to go here.
What's this?
Okay, I don't know why that's doing that. Okay, we'll just save that for the time being. That'll do. And it's the first solar SMS offer. Okay. So now we've saved that and we know that that's an SMS, something about the first offer, right? Now, wait until reply. Now, what we do here is the contact replied for the first solar offer SMS. If they've replied within the first 60 minutes, it's basically asking us, did that happen? Okay. Now, if that happened, we're going to split it. If it didn't happen, they come down here. If it did happen, they come down here. So we have a branch. Now, our branch replied true. Okay. So it's a condition. So up here, we've got what they are. Now, you're probably wondering where we get these things from, are you? If we wanted to add, I'll add some things later and show you where these things come from. But remember, this was just a pre-populated template that we started already in the system. Okay. So they replied. If they didn't reply, so we're going to ask, That was fantastic. Now I need you to write a second SMS if the lead didn't reply within 1 hour. Okay, we'll see what he does. See what comes out of it. Just a quick reminder about our exclusive offer. Take control. Blah, blah. Oh, that's just perfect as well, isn't it? So we'll use that as well. Copy. We'll go back to here. And this is our second attempt. And that's that there. Second attempt. So now we've got our how we get them in the system. We've got our first SMS that's asked them to reply back for solar if they're interested. Our second attempt if they haven't replied back. Okay. Now we're going to keep coming down here, then we can come down this part here, right? So we've done the second attempt. We're now going to wait for a reply. And the reply is that they've replied back to this with no timeout. Right. Let me explain that. So if they do not reply back, they're going to be just hung here. They'll sit there forever. They're out of the system. Oh, no, sorry. If they don't reply back, we need to add a time limit. We need to time this. We'll make that 1 day. Reply 1 day. Okay. So we're waiting 1 day. So we've sent them out something. We've waited an hour. They haven't responded back. We're waiting a day. If they've responded back, we're going to have the same thing here. So we'll be able to do that in a minute. If they haven't, we've got a third and final, right? So now we're going to write me a third and final SMS if we still haven't got a response after 1 day. Perfect. Okay. This is good. Okay, hang on a second. We've done something different here. So we're waiting for a reply. If they haven't replied, was the reply positive? So if they didn't reply back with something that was positive or yes. So this is where we can get into a bit of trouble. So I'll explain some issues that might happen here. If they reply back, no, piss off, then we send them another text message because it wasn't positive. If they send back something that says, yes, tell me more, or, it's a positive type of a response, the system will generally pick up a positive response. If it's negative, like piss off, no, not interested, go away, then you're going to come down here and they've got a one here that just says no worries. Your dad wish you all the best or whatever. I personally would give it a third attempt and put in hi. And then we're going to go contact first name, comma, and then that. And then third and last, because I'm a firm believer in, let's upset somebody. I'm not worried about that, right? Because I don't care. They can opt out anytime they want because every SMS has got an auto opt out, right? So they can get out of it. So now we've gotten our tag to put them in. We've got our first offer. They didn't respond. Second attempt, come down here, still didn't respond with anything positive. We've got that. At that point, they've finished the workflow. You know they're dead. They're never going to respond. I would probably then I would wait. Put in a wait. So see here what I'm doing? I'm typing in wait, and the wait function comes up. So I clicked on the arrow, and I typed in wait, and the wait comes up. And we want to delay, and we're going to wait again 1 day. Right? After that, and we're going to label that wait 1 day because we want to know what it is when we look at it. Now, after that point, what are we going to do with them? We've sent them 3 text messages. They haven't responded. It's been 3 days. What are your thoughts, Con, on a client like that?
No, thank you for your time.
That's it. Close it.
And enjoy your whatever solo in future.
My thoughts are that they're never going to be a client, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to update opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think if we do, okay, yes, I'll type in update, create opportunity. So what I'm going to do is put them into not interested column, right, on my main pipeline. So we select the pipeline, main leads pipeline. The stage is not interested, not ready. Opportunity name will be contact, full name, and not worry about that. And we're going to put status abandoned. Now, what this will do is move them in our main, or we'll put them into our main leads pipeline into not interested column, right? It's going to put their name there so that we know who they are, and that's all we need. We're going to go update opportunity, not interested. Save. Just before I do that, I'm going to also add a tag. Tag. Add contact tag. Select a tag, and I'm looking for not interested. Not qualified. That will do. Add tag. Not. Okay. So we added tag not qualified, right? Now.
Why is not qualified okay?
Well, not interested. Not. I can make a new one. We'll make a new one. We'll call it.
Oh no, I'm just
not
wondering.
We'll make it that. Not interested. Okay. I'll tell you why I've done this.
Okay.
Save that. Okay. So they've come down here. They haven't responded to anything. We wait 1 day. We add a tag not interested, and we put them into the not interested column. The reason I want to add a tag is you can have as many tags on a client as possible as you want. And a tag is like a hook. So if you ever want to do anything with people who are not interested in the future, you might want to send them something. You can go, anyone with the not interested tag, we'll see if they're interested, and bang, you can add them to a workflow with a tag. Right? And this will automatically add that for you. Okay? So we could also do something here where if they reply back with solar, then we could add this to them, right? So we could do another, what we probably should do is another condition after the wait for 1 day. Or we should change it to wait for reply. So I'm going to show you something. Is this getting too confusing?
No, I know where you're heading with this one. Yes.
And you'll have the recordings, right? So here's
Yeah.
the issue that we have. We've asked them to reply back.
Yes.
We've asked for wait a day. Well, if they do reply back, what happens?
Hmm.
So here they've replied back to this one, and there's a positive reply next step. So let's see what that says. Great. I've got a voucher for you, name, blah, blah, booking link, right? So we're going to make some changes to this in a second, right? And where we're going to do a notification. So we're notified if they do. We're going to send them a text message, but then we're going to get a notification that, Mary is interested in what's happening. So the problem we have is that here we're waiting, but we haven't asked them for. We've asked them for a response. We don't have anything happening here. So what we actually need to do is duplicate this and this down here.
Yeah.
Okay, very easy to do. Click on the little circle, copy, action to here. We're going to get rid of this in a minute. We're also going to copy this action to here. We're going to delete this one. Delete action. Delete. We're going to move these two over to here because they've come through here. They haven't responded. So what we're going to do is move all actions from here to here. So we've just moved that, right? Now we've just got to go back and clean up these. So wait for reply. We've got to select the step, third SMS. Okay, so we're waiting for a reply. Did they reply? Was it a positive or a yes? No, it wasn't. So they've come down here. Okay. Now, the only thing we're going to do now is create a positive response here, and then we're going to duplicate it here, and we're going to duplicate it here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the positive response is we're going to go back here, and now I need you to write a SMS for when the lead replies yes or in a positive way. All right. So we'll see what this does. Great news. I've taken the first step towards independence. Our solar experts are eager. Oh, look at this. This is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, so we could get in a conversation where we ask them to reply back with a best time, but I would probably just say we will give you a call shortly, right? So if I copy this, and then we'll clean it up. Copy, put this in here. Great news. And we need to change that to, what do we need to change it to, Con?
Contact first name.
Good man. Contact first name. Okay, and then we do a comma and a space. You've taken the first steps toward energy independence. Our solar experts are eager to assist. We will give you a call shortly on 0434 788 788. 788. Please accept the call. Okay. So there you go. Right. So great news. Contact first name. You've taken the first steps. Our solar experts are eager to assist you. We will give you a call shortly on the number. Please accept the call. Thank you. Blah blah blah. Right. So we saved that. Now that's over here. Now what we want to do is copy. We want to copy this one. So we go here, copy, action to here, and we're going to get rid of that one. So that's the old one. And we're going to copy action to there. So now if we click on that, that should be, yep, that's the same one. Rightio. We save that. We're going to save that just temporarily. Rightio. So now we've sent old leads through here. We've asked them to, are they interested still basically? If they've replied back yes, they get this. If it's positive, if it's negative, okay, so we've got this here. We need to, I'm going to do something different here. Okay, I'm going to do something very technical. So here, we basically were waiting for a positive response, and if they didn't get it, it went down here, and then if it wasn't positive, it went down here, right? So what I'm going to do is go from here, and I'm going to bring them into here with a go-to action. I'm going to delete this because what happens is they've said no, we've given them there. No, they didn't respond. We sent them there. If they weren't positive, we went down this road, correct?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a go-to. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to look for go-to. This is pretty cool. And you hit save, and then it asks you where to. You click on the green dot. You drag them to there. Now what happens is, isn't that sexy? So they come down, they replied back, but the reply wasn't positive. We've sent them over to here to give them a third attempt, last and final, which is basically the same thing as if they've come through here and it wasn't a positive extent, right? So we could also have just copied all this and put it here, but this just drags them across there, saves us copying it all. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah.
Not confused?
No, it makes sense.
So now the only other thing we want to do is if they're positive, we want to be notified. So we're going to do notification. NOT, send internal notification. The type will be, I like SMS personally. Select the user, and it will be the assigned user. So you've got to make sure that all these contacts are assigned to you, or we could actually do a particular user. That's probably better. So particular user, then the user's name is me. So that means that I get the notification via SMS. Okay. So that's always a good one to select a particular user. Then it doesn't matter if you're assigned to them or not. If there's a glitch in the system, you'll still get this notification. And we're going to contact full name. Just responded to SMS saying they are interested. Call them now on, and then we're going to go contact phone. Sorry, wrong spot. On contact phone. And we're going to hit save. Now, if I want to copy that, copy action to here, and we want to copy action to here. And I'm going to save that. And now we're going to go through it again. All right. Is that pretty trick? Okay. So they come in because they're an old lead tag, or we've put them in this through making a smart list. We've sent them a promotion text message, reply back Solar to learn more. We wait for an hour. If they have replied back and it's positive, fantastic news. They get this. You get notified, you call them. If they reply back with something that's not positive, then they come down here, they come to here, they get the third SMS that says, last chance to save big on Solar, don't miss out, blah, 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 time is running out. We need to change that and reply Solar. So we're looking for why. Actually, we need to change this because we've asked them to reply.
Yeah, already.
Solar,
Yes.
right? So it's not positive. What we can do, we come here, we go add a condition, or contact replied, replied message is Solar. Okay, so if they've come through and it's a positive, or they've replied back with Solar, so if they replied back with yes or fantastic, things like that that are more of a positive response, right? Or if they reply back with the word Solar, they're going to go down this run. Okay, so I'm going to save that. We need to do the same thing here. Add a condition, or contact reply to message is Solar. Save. And the same here again. Add condition, or contact reply to message is Solar. Okay, save that. Does that see how we've changed that a little bit? So if it's a positive response, or they reply back Solar, they go down here. If it's not that, they go down here. Okay, and then once they do send you a positive, you get a notification from SMS that says, hey, call this person, they're hot and heavy. If they everything's negative at the end, they've come down here, and because they've come down here, negative at the end of it, and they've moved to the not interested column, they're sitting in there, and you know that, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So that's how you create a workflow. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and share this with you too, so that it'll sit in your accounts, right?
Okay.
And I should be able to do that. So I should be able to share this workflow and put it in your accounts. It'll be called List Reactivation Automation. And you're going to have to go through and clean it up with notifications, with, just check things and make sure that it's what it is. And then if you want to give it a test and use it, you can.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now you could, let's look at triggers at the top. I won't save this, but this is just something to look at. So we could add multiple or add a different workflow trigger if we want. So we could go workflow trigger is form. So form submitted, right? or a Facebook lead form or a TikTok form submitted. So you can do multiple things, but let's have a look here. Form submitted, and then we add a filter. We need to, the form is, and then over here we select the form, and then we've got our different forms, and it might be our contact us form, it might be whatever form you might have that's on your website, right? So a lead opt-in form or anything else. So any type of form that you have, and we'll do that next. We'll create a form, right? Here's what we'll do. I'm just going to get out of this for a second. And I'm going to create a form now from scratch, and we'll call it our list reactivation form. And it's probably not the way that they would get into this workflow, but it teaches you how to build a form, all right? So we save that. When we want to use it, we have to come up to the top here and go from draft to publish and then save, and that will make it live. Okay, I'm not going to make it live for now. Now, I'm going to go back to workflows, and we're going to go to sites. And you'll see up the top, you've got forms. Click on forms. And we're going to add a new form. Now, traditionally, the forms come in just as a number. So this says form 29, right? And it's blank. So what you do is come across to options, and then you get the form name. And it's our reactivation form. See how it's changed the name here? Hit save. Go back to fields. So now it's called a reactivation form. So when we go to search for it anywhere, if we want to put that on a website or we want to have a trigger action, we're looking for that name, and that's what we do. So this is really easy to create a form. See over here, we've got traditional fields. We've also got some custom fields, but in this case, we just need something normal, right? So first name, drag it across. Phone, email. And then we need a thing called a button. That form, if we save it, is now live. Doesn't look very sexy, but it's a white background, captures first name, phone number, and email, and they click on the button and they submit. Now, you don't want the word button to be the thing, and you don't necessarily like the color black. So here's what we do. We go across to styles. Okay. And here is how we change these things. So button. Okay. So right up here, it says button. We want to go claim your $0 money down. I'll fix that in a minute. Offer. Solar offer. Solar offer today. Okay, so see how we've now changed with the wording on the button? Then we want to do something else. We want to change the color. So the background color is currently sort of blackish. You click on the colored square, and then you can choose something a bit more positive. It's just changed it to that. Okay? Now, we also want to make it, we want to make it there, but we want to change the color of the words to black. And we want to put a radius on that. And we want to make it full width. So I'll click there, full width. We want to put a radius because we want to make it look a bit better on the corner. See how I've just cornered it? And we want to find font color. we want to go here and we want to choose black. And we want to make the font bigger. Look at that. There's our form. Now, we go up the top to fields. We hit save. Now that form, that reactivation form, is ready to go. Look good?
Yeah.
Rightio, we're going to go back to our automation first off. And I know it's going to be all the way at the end, I would expect. List reactivation automation. And we're going to add that form as a trigger as well. We probably would never happen, but that's okay. But it could. So we want to form submitted, add filters, form is, and we're looking for reactivation form. Save, and we're going to name it so we know what it is. Okay, we save that. We save that. See, now we've got two options for this list or this automation to work. It's either anyone with an old leads tag or if they submit that form. However, the form is nowhere. So we've saved it. We still haven't published it. We're going to go back and we're going to go to sites. And we'll go into here. Solarrun site. And let's have a look what we got. I'll add it to my home site for now. That'll do. So I'll click on here, open the editor. Okay, now on this page, we want to put another form or this, because we can do it anywhere we want. Let's go with 2 column. We'll put form there. It's asking us for the form. And it's our reactivation form. Oh yeah, there it is. It's now, if I save that, it's now live on the site. It's now live on my site. I'll need to get rid of that soon, but let's go and have a look at it. There it is. And that picture looks a lot better as well because now shows the car as well. It actually sits quite well on the page. And it's at the top of the page. When you first log in, there's an opt-in form at the top. You could probably do a sub-headline here about something about you've got some special 0 money down, whatever the case may be. Populate it, leave it there, and then fire up that automation. And you could also, back at the automation, I'm going to just delete that. Delete. Save. So that's now back to normal. You could also add in the automation where if they respond positively, we update them in the opportunities tab and put them into our new lead tab.
Oh, damn.
Go back. So if you're using the form, in the automation, if they've replied back positively, you could do a couple of things. You could add a new column, right? Where here I've got a column that says they replied back, yes, they're ready to buy. But you could do a column here 3.2 that's responded to old leads and add them into this column here. All right, create a new column. You do that by going to pipelines. We did this the other day, didn't we, Con?
Yeah.
For you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So go to pipelines, main leads pipeline, you edit it. You create a new stage. We call it 3.2. Responded positively to old lead campaign. Move it up to the stage so it sits there, save it, and then once you've done that, you could add in the automation that you update the opportunity, goes to 3.2 in the main leads pipeline, their name, other details, stuff like that. Right. So it automatically puts them in front of your face whenever you're looking here. Here they are. These are the leads that have clicked through, and you know that they're hot and heavy. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yes, very good.
questions?
No, it's good. I like that.
Not confused?
No, it made a lot of sense.
Okay,
good
so here's what I'll do.
good
I
example.
will try and share that with. I'll definitely give that to you, Con.
Yeah, please.
Justin, are you still there? Here he comes. Are you there, mate? Just send me a text if you'd like it added to your account too. Just send me a text message. For some reason your voice is not coming through.
Oh, it says yes.
Oh, hang on, his chat. Hang on, let's have a look.
Yeah.
What's he said? He's probably said no, he doesn't want that. Yes, please, yes, please. Look at him go. All right. So okay, so I will I'll do my endeavor best to save that workflow into both of your accounts. Everyone will get the video training from today. There you go. That was nearly an hour. And we created a form. We created a brand new workflow. We did all the copy on ChatGPT, which took us like 3 seconds. It's actually not too bad copy, I would say, as well. It's quite good. Yeah, there we are. Thanks a million. Pleasure.
I think Justin just offered you some money. He said, thanks a million.
Yeah. Well, it's worth $1 million. This is gold. I have to stop sometimes with some of the things that I know and some of the things that I do. And I go, well, hang on a minute, I know how to do that, but other people may not. So that's why I just thought, well, that was fairly basic automation, but it wasn't a basic one. It was probably a couple of levels up from basic, because basic, you would just have a trigger, an SMS, wait time, an SMS, wait time, an SMS, run an email, and that would be a basic workflow. Yeah. So you can use workflows to create actions internally as well. So you can put someone through a workflow to add them to a tag as a bulk. You can put them through and change their status to, abandoned or open or all sorts of stuff. So you can use workflows just for that as well. It doesn't have to be to communicate with a client. It can be an internal process for things to happen.
Yeah, like for instance, doing all your paperwork or something, you can have them going through that workflow as well.
What's that? Sorry?
You know how there's certain paperwork that we need to do, especially here in Victoria. You can sort of go through, have a workflow, internal workflow to. Can you have the workflow say, you've got one for communication? Would you need a separate bit for the internal stuff, or like would you need a separate customer?
You're talking about using the opportunities tabs for that. So yeah, I would have a I think, did we speak about this last week? We might have, but we'll cover it again. So for compliance, let's call it compliance. That's really what it is, right? It's pre and post sale compliance.
Yeah.
Pre and post installation compliance. So
we did talk about it.
I would create a new pipeline for that based on every single step that you have, which is similar to what's in Anthony's system. However, you can automate some of that process. So you could have, give me an example of the first thing that you would, some of the stuff you have to do.
Oh, like we have to do process the STCs so that we can get that money.
Is that before you that happens? Before you
Oh,
install?
no, after the installation, I mean.
Okay, what
I'm
about
talking.
before? What about before? Let's talk about some stuff that you got to do before
Oh,
installation.
you do your pre-approval from the distributor.
Great. So here's what happens. You could do a thing where they're in a column where you've applied for pre-approval. Pre-approval comes back. You move them into pre-approval approved. So you've got approval. You could then send the owner a text message and go, "Great news! We've just gotten approval for your system to be installed from the grid provider. We'll be in touch with the next stage." So you're keeping them informed as you go along, because you don't want them to sit there and go, "Oh, what's happening? I've given this guy money," or So you could automate that process where you move them across. And every time you move them across, it keeps them updated, or it keeps somebody in your internal system updated, right? So if you've got an admin person that's doing this, it could also let you know through an internal notification that purchase order has been published, or been put in. Stock's been ordered for that job. Installation date is a certain date. So you could probably set it up where you could have a calendar for installation. And you're notified if somebody else is organizing installation dates, you're automatically notified of that customer's installation date because it's been put in as an appointment in a calendar. Your installer could be sent a notification that it's confirmed that that's the day and time that particular job, and here's the details of the customer. All this stuff can be automated. All it does is create a I think Justin sent us some more messages. Yeah, yes. Here we go. Stock ordered. This is what I would find really handy. Can we do this next week? Sure, we can look at this next week. And I'll tell you what I need you to do. I need you guys, if you want this to happen next week, you need to send me a list of the process that you guys use and you'd want added.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. If you do that, we can do that. And it might not all happen on one call because it's quite a big job, right?
Yes.
But what I'll do is we'll build it out in one of your accounts. So whoever sends me the most detailed process, I'll build it in your account live.
Nice.
There's a challenge, Justin. And I know you're both detailed. Actually, Con, you might be in for a bit of a run because Justin is actually quite detailed in sending stuff. So he could be the leader on this one. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, if you do that, I'd love to do that. That'd be exciting and great. And hopefully it will help you. And then we can, build the workflow. And then maybe from there, the following week, we can set up some automations based around that. And then from there, we can set up some, the calendar idea for booking, for the install dates. So whoever the admin person is who books the install date, and the owner, the customer can be sent notification of that. The installer, so you'd set the installer up as a user. So you know how we could do particular users, you can do multiple. So you could send it to the client, you could send it to the owner of the business and the installer as well. So they get those details sent to them via email or whatever the case may be. And any other custom values that you add in the system. So you can, size of the system, panels, I don't know, anything special you can add as a custom value in that notification to your installer, as long as you've added those into the customer's contact values. It's probably getting a bit complex, but, there could be a form that we use to do that. So form on a live site that is not necessarily published to the public. So it's like an internal form where you can add all the client details in a form that then get added to their contacts And then from there, we can pull those, because they're custom values, into an email that can be sent to the installer. How cool is this? Because you want your installer to know what the job's all about, right? You do that or you don't?
Oh yeah, I usually send them an email. So, but yeah,
well, you can automate it. So,
yeah,
so you
exactly.
go into a form, you put customer's name, customer's address, customer's phone number, customer's email, whatever details you want, job size, brand of the panels, inverter size and brand, any special details about the job, you just type it in the form. Yeah, I know it is the bomb. I know it's great. So then that gets saved as custom values that you can then pull those custom values in a notification email.
Can you send it to WhatsApp?
Sorry?
Can you send it to WhatsApp?
The
reason why I ask is because my installer is big on WhatsApp.
Coming.
It's coming. Okay.
Yes. Cool. It's an integration that's coming. I know. Cool. I don't think it's here yet, but it's definitely I think this quarter or next quarter it's coming. So you could definitely choose the internal notification could be WhatsApp. And as long as you've got your installer as a user, so you add them as a user, just like you're a user or any other staff member's a user in your account, then you can send a notification to them.
Right.
So I have a notification as soon as I move somebody over to installed, Lee gets an email that reminds her to send the invoice that day. She doesn't need it, but she forgot one day, so I went, I know how to fix this. So boom, now she gets an email every time there's an install happens. There's a notification that says send the customer an email, an invoice, because she's a user in my system. Okay. Yeah. All right. So there's your challenge for next week. Send me the most detailed process you can, just step by step. Probably in a spreadsheet would be best. So each stage, because knowing that I'm going to be creating columns based on that process and in the order that it happens.
Yeah.
All right.
In order. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How exciting. We've got next week's call set up. So I'm just going to talk to you guys again about what's GTG. Amazing job, GTG. Got to go. Oh, got to go. Yeah, sure. That's what it was. Got to go. I worked that out. Now he's gone. Don't forget, you can sign up as an affiliate for Kabuya.
Affiliate?
I sent you an email.
Yes. That's right.
Okay. I'm going to explain that to you. It costs you $197 a month, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody who signs up under your affiliate link, and it doesn't even need to be a solar company, it can be any business that comes on board, right? Because I have other businesses. You get 40% every month of what they pay me.
That's right. Yes, you did say that. Yes.
Okay. So you want to get Kabuya for free? Get me 3 clients.
Yes.
The easiest clients you can get is other Solarrun franchises.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Because it's a no-brainer. And as you can see, I continue to give value. And I just want to give more and more. I just want to make our lives easier, make it better, make it run smoother. I know Anthony's starting to pick up the game a bit with the CRM, which is good, finally. But he's never going to be able to do what we're doing here. Never. Right? So, make some money from it.
That's right. You did. Yeah. All right. Cool.
All right. Awesome. And then what we'll do is, after we've done this workflow, we'll look at setting up affiliate programs for your solar company.
Okay.
So you send a link or you send an email to your clients or put it on social media, sign up for our affiliate program, and every person who buys solar from us, we give you blah, 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 right? They then sign up to the program through a form. They get sent a unique link that they can post on Facebook or Instagram or email to their friends or text message to anyone they know. And when somebody buys from you, the system tracks that and you know to pay them. So you're not trying to juggle, oh, who referred me that person? Well, it's written, it's in the system. It comes up here. Instead of Gmail lead, it says Mary Thompson referred that guy, whatever his name is. Okay?
Yeah.
So we'll look at that after we've done this, because that's the next great growth stage that you can do for your business is referrals. Like I reckon over 50% of my business is referrals. And with this, it should make it easier for people and more trusting that they'll be paid because they've got an official link that's tracking their clients. All right. Okay. I'll try and send you this automation. I'll send through the videos a bit later on. And if you need anything, just reach out with the call link. Let's keep the momentum happening. All right.
You bet, mate. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks for the call.
Go,
See ya.
mate. See ya.
Bye. Bye.